Howdy, all Moglax Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright. I need to make a block to place that one that is broke. Uh, hmm. Where, I thought I made like 80 bullets. What did I do with them? Oh, maybe I'm not there yet. Weird. I thought I had gotten that far, but apparently I was confused. Bullet tips. Make all the bullet tips. I need all the bullet tips that you can make. Whew, it's been a long day. It's been a long weekend. Let's go with that. It's been a long weekend. We, mostly just been working and working in the yard. I tell you, I cannot wait to get ahead of the yard. It is a pain. And I am tired of working on it. So tired of working on it. But we had graduation parties on Sunday that I went to. So I didn't do any yard work on Sunday, I guess, but I did do a lot of yard work on Saturday. I know, like, ooh, it's an exciting topic to talk about yard work, but man, it is consuming my every moment trying to get ahead of this. Although I feel like today, uh, we're getting pretty close. I we had to get a guy to come out and mow the lawn because of how deep it was, and so there's a few spots that are just so much grass that I'm gonna have to rake all that up before we can nice, before we can get too far. And so I raked one section. There's still two more sections I feel we should probably do something about. But I raked up one section. Oh man. I need to hit a pharmacy up to get some drugs, apparently. How long are you going to be making those bullets? 5 minutes. I'm going to wait 5 minutes, I guess, on those bullets. And then we'll go look for a pharmacy. Actually, the hospital is right nearby. So some of the buildings that I had previously raided are harvestable again. So I think it might be a good idea to hit the hospital since it is right there. So that'd be cool. I'm definitely going to want to go get some more niter as well. Because I gotta keep making the bullets. Especially if I'm going to use two guns that use the same ammo. Hey, that was a pretty good harvest. I didn't break anything down to its seed. Bad zombie getting in my place. Um, so I was outside tonight working away on that mess. You know, I guess I don't need to be here for the other 100 bullets. This is probably plenty of bullets for what I want to do. I actually, shockingly, got him to come out and burn some brush while I was working. They are... It's really funny to me, and I commented on this to him the other day, was like 4 years ago, they had a campfire in the fire pit in our yard every day but like 4 days, starting from like May all the way through September or October, somewhere in there. And so the next year they did like 6 campfires, and then I was like, I cleaned up a bunch of stuff around the yard that they let get overgrown, and I'm like, hey, while you're doing those campfires, do you think that you could burn all this brush? Yeah, yeah, sure. End of campfires. And so they'll run out and have a quick campfire without saying anything. But oh man, you ask them to burn a little brush, that just ain't happening. Oh, I see you running. Or did I hallucinate that? Those are landmines, man. I thought I saw a guy running. Guess not. I did see that guy. Oh, I saw somebody move. Search his bus while he's coming for me. I don't want your steel arrows. Oh, you didn't set off the landmine. I thought you'd set off the landmine. Took that fire thing off my deal. Although, to be fair, I am going to have to go back out and check because they did not stay with the fire once they got most of the brush burnt down. And so it was burning when I came in. So we'll have to see where we're at. But, oh man, tired now. Whew, that was... I raked the... Basically, if you've ever seen a hayfield, after they've gone through and raked the hay into rows to dry in preparation for baling, I did that by hand all around the fire pit. I had like 7 rows around the fire pit like that. That's how bad it was here. And so today I went out and finished. Well, I picked it all up and dumped it away from the lawn. Oh, dang it. I knew this was going to happen. This is where you switch to your machine gun. And you hope that you don't bleed out. Oh, I guess I do have bandages. Oh, yeah. I see how that is. Man, I like the aimer on this gun a lot. Okay, anybody else want to climb in here while I'm trying to break open the... Oh, you're thirsty. I thought that was me bleeding. That's him complaining about being thirsty. Yeah, it is really funny. So we're out there, and I'm raking up the grass, and I'm putting it in this yard wagon we've got, and so we've got shrews that live in our lawn, and so you come across them occasionally while you're out there doing the yard work. They're just like they're kind of like a mouse, um, but they're not exactly a mouse, and so it's out there, and I rake up some of the grass, and it's running around, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing, little guy? I'm like, you don't want to be here. I'm getting rid of this pile of grass, and so he runs around a little bit and runs into the pile of grass, the next pile of grass that I'm about to rake up, and so I rake that into a pile, and I scoop it up with the pitchfork and the rake, and put it in the wagon, and he's running around again, and he runs around my foot, and around my foot, and runs across my foot, and I'm like, no, no, you can't come this way, buddy. Like, I don't want you in my shoe or something. Not that he's getting my shoe, but oh, get out of here. And so then I put that in the wagon, and I rake up the next part, and he's under that part because he just keeps, like I said, it's like a big row of grass, and so he's just sticking with the row, and every time I scoop up a part, he runs into the next part. Only this time, he sits there and he just starts squeaking angrily at me. And I'm like, oh, what are you gonna do, little guy? And so he finally took off, ran around the wagon a little bit, and the kids were all looking at him and stuff, and dang it, I'm gonna get killed in here. Where's the pharmacy? I want the pharmacy part. Ugh. I want the bird-free pharmacy part. So then they spent a while trying to catch him. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. They're like, we want to keep him as a pet. I'm like, no, it's like a mouse, man. It'll be dead in a few weeks at best. You don't want that as a pet. Sorry. What are you? Ever seen that kind of zombie before? Are you a doctor zombie? Oh, thought that was his head. Was not his head. What kind of zombie is that? I've never seen one like that before. Man, even with a scope, I'm terrible aim. That's curious. I don't know what that was. I must need to go up a floor to get to medical supplies. Oh. Come on, go down, mouse. Dang it. I don't know if I can catch his... Shoot me in the armpit then. This looked like it could have been a pharmacy. I think it must have been a... Oh man, another safe that hasn't been opened. Did I just not open the safes when I came through here last time? But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. He was squeaking away at me. I just got a text from my brother. He called me. And he was like, hey, have you seen that sale they got going on? Yeah, dude, we talked about that. Oh, yeah. I was wondering what game I should get. I bought a few games off of it, and then runs down the games he already told me he bought off of it the other day when I talked to him. And then he was debating getting Days Gone. And so I was like, oh, yeah, I played that a little bit. I got that. Was pretty fun, what I played of it so far. I played a little bit tonight for about 5 minutes. And, it's probably closer to 10 minutes. I was waiting for dinner to finish. Rice in a rice cooker, so I had to wait for that to get done, and that does it all on its own, so it didn't need me standing there, so... well, that was... whatever. Just shoot him in the side a few times, I guess. Wow. Might be better just throw your gun at him at this point, man. And, so he sent me a... What is that zombie? What are you? I mean, you're dead now, but what are you? He didn't order his game as soon as he got home, and so by the time he got around to trying to order it, the sale ended today, and it ended before he could place his game order, so he was not able to get the game. It's really weird because he talked to me at like 5 o'clock while I was still working, and so one would think, why did you just switch? Nobody pushed that button. My mouse must have been right on the cusp of rolling over. And so no game for him, I guess, which is a shame because it's a pretty good game so far. I just got to the point where they've taken away my motorcycle and given me a cheap motorcycle. Because you're basically a motorcycle gang member. It's like Sons of Anarchy mixed with The Walking Dead. That is how I would describe it so far. And oh, you know what I want to do? I want to get rid of these last 10 rounds in this of this steel ammo that's no good to me. Where are all those zombies going? You guys know I'm over here, right? They don't care. They're leaving. Um, and so I basically I have like 3 quests I'm working on at the moment, and because it's kind of like a Far Cry kind of game, I would guess you could say, and the action RPG adventure, whatever, and so limited crafting and stuff like that, and so uh, dang it, I can't see his head. So I basically just got on my bike and left the camp where you get your new bike, and oh, okay, you can switch back to the other ones now. Do do do. And so the your partner, your buddy, he got third-degree burns, and so you were looking for sterile bandages for his burned up arm, and so I got those, and that's where I had to save my game at that point and go see about dinner. But yeah, it's pretty fun so far. I like to talk about horror movies that I've seen. Um, and so I watched a new one this this past week. It was called the Shadow Man Chronicles or something like that. It's a found footage uh, kind of movie, which I like found footage. Man, look at all that. Steel ammo. Swap over to the steel so we can use it up. I like all that found footage stuff. I mean, I don't like all of it, but the fun ones, I like the fun ones. And this was not one of the fun ones. This was not a great movie. It wasn't terrible. I've definitely seen much worse, but it was one of those ones where it's found footage and the whole movie nothing happens until the last second. And then you're like, ugh, so I basically just watched a group of people go on a boring road trip. Thanks. And that was basically the movie. They went on a boring road trip, and then at the last minute, they vanished, and no one's seen them since because this is found footage and it's a true story. Ah, man, I thought I could jump up there. You know what, though? I do have some wood frames. So I can jump up here. I can jump up here. Was this woman and 2 of her friends go go out to film, interview people whose family members have vanished because of shadow people, and so that was the movie. And so like they go out and they interview a guy, and he What's the deal with the first one? I know one of them gets angry. Oh, no, that was the other one. They talk to one guy, and like he talks about how his family disappeared, and they talk to another guy who's like, you can't be filming me, and I have videotaped footage of it, but you can't see it. And so two of them got to see it, but the guy with the camera didn't get to see it, so you didn't get to see it. And then they're like, oh no, they saw a shadow man talking to a guy in the video, and he's like, well, what good does that do anybody? Because I couldn't see it, and that's not gonna help your movie that you're making, because what good is it if nobody can see it? I totally agree. I totally agree. I didn't get to see it. It wasn't fun. And then they interview this woman, and her daughter had vanished, and so she was talking to them, and then that's right, you stupid buzzard. And then her husband got home and threw them out, and was yelling at the wife for talking to people about it, and because I don't think he believes the Shadow Man angle. And woof, somebody was a big bad zombie. Ooh, that was another big bad zombie. That one was not. and then they went and they talked to this woman finally at the end of it, and she had watched the shadow people steal her brother or something, and she had seen one of the shadow people herself, and then her mother grabbed her and ran out of there after her brother and her father vanished because of the shadow people, and so then they found out that her childhood home was nearby, and so the one guy talked them into going to the home, and so they go to the home, and he sets up a bunch of cameras around the home, and then they start filming, and there's like a pile of dolls on a couch that was still there that hadn't been moved, and so I'm not sure what that is. Oh, I think that's a fat zombie? Oh, I see. Yeah, fat zombie. A fat feral. Ooh, I got 1,000 points for that guy. And, oh. Gross. Shoot. I'm in trouble. This is not the way down. This is the way down. I don't have enough ammo. Move to fight this stuff. Reload, buddy, reload. Okay, well, I got one of them. Nope, sorry, Oh, he got me. Oh, dang it. And so they've got the footage, right? And so the one of the dolls falls over, and he's like, I just saw it move. And so they all run to look at that, and then the woman who was the one whose project it was, she starts freaking out and yelling about how she doesn't feel good, and how can they stand to be in this house now, and how it's making her nauseous, and she wants to go, um, and so they talk about how they're hearing stuff, and then uh, I can't remember exactly. I just watched it. You think I can remember? I don't remember why, but the guy with the camera decides to go into one of the other rooms, and when he goes in the other room, um, oh, like one of the clocks just starts working, and so she breaks it and wants to leave, and um, I don't remember where I went after. I just went around in a big circle. Is what I did. Somewhere I put down a box, right, to jump up. Yeah, right here. And and so then, anyways, he winds up in a different room than the rest of them. And when he goes in that other room, oh man, I did not bring any other gun. That's a lot of death for the guns that I brought with me. And I did not get what I came after, which sucks. I came for pills, not for death. And so he goes running in the room, and you see in front of him, because you're seeing out of the camera that he's got, you see in front of him a wispy man shape moves toward him, and then the camera just falls to the ground, and he's gone. And the thing is, for me, was that they have all these rooms with cameras on them, and so I thought what would happen is we get to see him vanish. Um, ugh. But that did not happen. We did not get to see him vanish. We just saw him vanish from the point of view of him, and we didn't get a third person point of view like I thought was about to happen, since they showed the people running the room from the third person point of view, but they did not show him get taken from a third person point of view. And so I thought that was kind of weak. I mean, the whole movie wasn't great. Uh, in fact, that movie was more of a travel guide to the areas they went to, because they would do this weird slow motion effect every time they went to a new city, and every time they went to a new city, they would hit like tourist attractions, and so there'd be like video of them going into this cave system at one place, and video of them going at flea market or something. And so I was like, oh, could we get to some shadow people? Come on. And so then I think they don't even show the other guy. He just vanishes, and then the woman. Um, I hear a zombie yelling, but I don't see it. And then the woman, her camera shows a full-on shadow person standing in front of her, and she screams, and then I guess she vanishes. And so, and then they're like, this is the last documented thing that she saw, and it shows you the Shadow Man standing in front of the camera again. And I was like, really? I mean, that's all we got. A doll fell over. There was some weird noises, and that was it. Oh, then we saw some shadow people take them, but not in any good way. It was just like, oh, there's a shadow person in front of me. Poof, I'm gone. Like they didn't reach out for him or bite him or tackle him to the ground or nothing. The people saw the shadow people and then they vanished. And I was like, I feel like you could put a little more effort into your shadow people. Like the special effects were okay for a low budget horror film, um, but they didn't do anything. They were just there. Like, I don't know. I don't know why you would think that would be the movie you want. I want a movie about shadow people, but I don't actually want to have shadow people in it till the very end, and then when they do pop out, they're not gonna do anything. Yeah, yeah, let's make that movie. Uh, so it's not terrible. I've definitely seen worse. It was. I don't know if it was even boring. It was okay. It was a road trip movie. Not a funny road trip movie either, really. They didn't even have good interviews with people, which kind of disappointed me. Oh, this is the wrong way. And I would have thought that it was if they'd had like better interviews, um, or like had made up some newspaper reports or had some statistics or like really delved into the shadow people conspiracy, and brought some of that statistics or stories into it. But no, it was. I mean, it might as you could have duplicated this for alien abduction at this point. My daughter was here. She went to bed, and then the next morning she was gone, and we never saw her again. But she talked about shadow people, and she saw shadow people. Uh, the one guy was like, "My son disappeared, and he talked about shadow people, and I never told him that I saw shadow people too, and now he's gone." And that's the whole interview. All right, well, I am going to call it a day here. So click like if you like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.